Hey, what's up, guys? This is absolutely insane. There are two videos that I have to kind of react to, and the first one is the 180 polychromes for the skin that we're getting in Xenozone Zero. I'm not gonna react to that right away because that is gonna take a whole lot of time, and I have the gotcha revenue to go over tomorrow morning, so my content is gonna be a little bit tight. This one I got recommended to react to this. Zenith Zone Zero devs are cooked, so we're gonna go right into that and see how that whole situation turned out to be. And yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the tabs absolutely very soon, but not yet, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got to have a bit of a discussion today, and that is, of course, going to be on one of the latest ZZZ videos I've made, talking about their $450 spending event. Because, of course, the topic, even though I am covering the update of the patch, the most of the discussion in this video is actually centered around the 180 pull spending event that ZZZ has.
Before I get into that, I am gonna probably pull this up in the other video that he mentioned, but to give a perspective, Honkai Star Rail recently did a 200 pulls stuff where you had to pull 200 times in order to get Archer's Icon. Now, granted, I am who I am. I end up getting Archer's Icon, Saber E1, and Saber's Icon. All of them 50-50 wins, but my results aren't typical and it's not the norm. I'm just very lucky because I'm a Hoyo shell. But apart from that, I went into Honkai Star Rail's that banner absolutely dry and pulls because I kind of use it all on Cypher's Lycon, trying to get Cypher's Lycon. I didn't get Cypher's Lycon. I'm pretty high on pity for Lycon, and I'm likely waiting until Cypher rerun so I can get her Lycon, or I'll get Castos Lycon because like. But the point is like, is this possible? Like, within Zenith Zero's patch, you get like 160 pulls or something like that, even less, something around that region. So it is possible to achieve this. And you'll likely always say it's like a $450 because he's unwilling to accept that that the game doesn't give you free pulls at all. The game does give you free pulls, so the price for that, if you're spending money, is likely significantly less. And I think this is a good thing because this guy has been saying all along that Zenith Zone Zero has been producing some turbo patches, so the characters are turbo, so nobody wants to pull them. So that means that people should have enough pulls save up to get this character. And in my opinion, it is kind of predatory, absolutely, because like um I didn't pull Vivian. I don't have uh Jane Doe with her signature that could use Vivian on my account, which you guys know that I do. So I feel like I may have to get Vivian sometime in the future. I think she's rerunning, but I don't think I'm gonna be getting her on this rerun right now. It's like future down the line if I feel like I want to, because like I have like two different teams for Jane Doe already. I'm yapping too much. I'm sorry, but like this is Saintontas redemption arc because he made a very bad video turning on his audience and it really backfired. So I expected that he was gonna be very critical on Hoyo games in the next few days, and it turns out it was just a few hours.
For Vivian's skin. And this is the thing, right? I think the skin looks great. I think it's for a great character. And I wouldn't really have too many issues with a spending event like this at all if it wasn't for one important thing. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to reiterate myself from this video because one thing I've realized from the ZZZ community is that repetition is key. Oftentimes, I'll just make a video, I'll restate the points from a prior video until it actually sticks with the community. And so that's what we'll be doing today. Because the big issue with this spending event is A, not actually the number of pulls, because it's 180 pulls across both versions 2.3 and 2.4. It's not the quality of
Okay, that's Thank you for that information, Saintontas. That is very possible. You're averaging around 100 pulls per patch in Xenozone Zero. It is very possible for you, as a free to play, as I should mention, you are likely going to get enough pulls for the character within that banner. So, is this predatory? This all this. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm gonna pull this all the way back. This all points back to Wuthering Waves Night Market. When I said it was a little bit predatory for Wuthering Waves to be producing this, where you have to be forced to spend your pulls in order to get this. It wasn't even a free Lycon, a free weapon, or a free character. It was just for 8 measly pulls. And with Honkai Star as one, you get a free Lycon, and with Xenozone Zero, you're getting a free skin. I think this free skin and the free weapon are pretty much more valuable than the 10 measly pulls that really doesn't guarantee you to get shit. So I think Xenozone Zero and Honkai Star Rails Awards are pretty good for the spending event. And this is, I don't know, man.
Of the skin, it's not the fact that the skin's going to be available out after 2.4. It's the fact that this skin is running across this skin spending event is running across 2.3 and 2.4 of the game. And let's just have a bit of a chat about this, because these are the units that are pretty much guaranteed to be in version 2.3. You got Yi Zhuan.
Pulling. I am pulling. I wasn't gonna pull the first time, but whatever they did with this, and this this points into another video that I'm gonna make it separate. I don't want to put it all in one video. I'm gonna make it separate, but it's funny what they did. You know what? Screw it. I'm gonna make it in this video. Like, look at this. I don't know if it's Xenozone Zero's players or it's like Wuthering Waves players that come in disguise into Xenozone Zero to complain about our skin. But I think it's that, because people were complaining saying that it looks exactly like Yi Zhuan skins, which was Saintontas followers, because Saintontas was the one that bring the shit up. Now, Xenozone Zero made a change by like giving her a little bit more breathing room so she can breathe properly. And in my opinion, at first glance, she was hot, obviously, but my reason why I wasn't pulling her because she was covered up. Now that she's opened up, I am pulling for her because she's opening up to me, so I am gonna be opening up my wallet to her. So you see, it's like a fair exchange. I'm gonna be getting this character, and I think a lot of people are excited to get Xenozone Zero's Ganyu, and I'm excited for it. Yi Zhuan 2.0, I'm okay with it. Like, I don't know why people complain about this, but you know, it is like if I see a character in pants and I then see another character in pants and then I say it's lazy development. Like, there's only there's not a unique endless amount of ways that they can design an outfit on a character, man. A dress is gonna look like a dress. A swimsuit is gonna look like a swimsuit. Like, we can't stop this, man. But I don't know, bro. I don't know, but I'm definitely pulling for this character. I know a lot of people are pulling for this character, and I'm sure I can find some use for her in my account somewhere down the future, you know.
But the Ganyu version. Then you got Yi Zhuan, Calamari version.
Wait a minute, let me check something. Do I still have this open? Okay, I don't have it open. I don't know why my video is lagging, but I'm gonna be pulling for this character. Obviously, I'm gonna be pulling for this character. I am sad to this day, obviously, from the original design was absolutely beautiful, but this one does the job very well. It's the pole dancer, absolutely perfect. I absolutely love her. I'm gonna be pulling for her 100%. And there's a lot of people like me who's gonna be pulling for her. But let's be honest, Xenozone Zero is a Goonin game. Let's not try to say otherwise. It's literally a Goonin game. So of course, people are gonna be pulling for this character. It's no shame in Goonin. Goonin is the reason why we exist on the planet today. If it wasn't for Goonin, the human race would be ended already. So absolutely, I'll be pulling for this character too. So he's acting like these characters are people are not looking forward to these characters, which is just fake news by Saintontas himself.
These units are some of the most uninspired looking AI generated garbage that the game.
AI generated. Funny you should say that. Like I'm working on a project, and if you want full information about this, you can check out Foxhole. But it's pretty much confirmed that Wuthering Waves use AI to develop their characters and their world, and it's right out there in plain sight for everybody to see. And I will be covering it in a separate video by itself. So, to Genshin Impact and Hoyoverse is catching up. That's why they're trying to hire people that specialize in AI. Wuthering Waves did it first, and they did it wonderfully good, really good. And I will be making a video about that. I know a lot of people are not gonna like it, but it's funny that Saintontas is the one that kind of try to push this narrative that Hoyoverse uses AI when AI is all over Wuthering Waves, and it's funny how people like boycott Expedition 33. Which game is it? Ethereal Restart, that it was AI generated. When let's be honest here, we all use AI. You're using AI doing your homework. I use AI doing my work. I use AI on YouTube as well. Some of my thumbnail creations and stuff like that. Like, if I say I want a fire background, I just type in fire background and slap it behind Saintontas any VTuber image and I call it a day. Like, we use AI for everything. I use AI to like discuss things and stuff like that. So AI is gonna take over, absolutely. But you know that's a dark topic that I'm not gonna go into.
Has ever seen since the history of its release. They look exactly the same to the point where I think I've seen an edit that somebody made. Let me just show you guys this really fast. It's genuinely hilarious once you think about it. This is just Ganyu Yizhuan Lucia recolored with Yizhuan's colors.
That's a bit of a stretch, but you know, you do you. You do you. Like, fam, the Wuthering Waves, not the Wuthering Waves community. I keep doing this. I apologize. The toxic community, the toxic Wuthering Waves community, have nothing to do in life. These are some losers. To take the time to edit this can so much look like this. You really have nothing to do in your life. Your life must be very pathetic to have so much time to try to color this exactly like this so it can look exactly alike. Whatever, either that or there's just nothing to do in Wuthering Waves. That all you guys can do is this shit.
Brother, that's crazy. This is the design that they're coming out with in version 2.3. And once again, my commentary on this is that they
look at the original. Look how totally different the original look. But to go out of your way, man. These people are really pathetic.
just took the top half of Vivian and then the bottom half of Yizhuan. Fuck it, I'll just show you.
Yes, because God forbid swimsuits look similar. God forbid. God forbid. God forbid two pants look the exact same. God forbid. Every pants should look unique because every pants is a snowflake.
What the top half of Vivian looks like so you can compare it to Calamari Yizhuan. That's the top half of Vivian, guys. That's her top half. These designs are so uninspired and so disgustingly lazy. That is the issue. When you combine this with the spending event. This is literally the developers telling you, hey, these designs are dog shit. We understand. These are also two completely new characters for the Spook Shack faction that have never been mentioned before in the story. So you're not going to have a reason to pull these guys from the...
They have been mentioned in the story. They have been mentioned in 1.0 story, actually. This is the reason why we complained that Lucia got changed a lot. Because Lucia used to be the TV system and Lucia used to be the nun character with the big boobs. So, I don't know if it's like... No, it's... Saintontas doesn't pay attention to story. So, it's the last thing I'll expect for Wooden Ways content creator to understand how to pay attention to story. I've seen Wooden Ways content creators misunderstand their own lore in their own fucking game. Even though Smackdown doesn't really play Wooden Ways, it's just farming his audience. But it's still, the point stands. Like, people like Saintontas doesn't really understand lore. Saintontas said... It's great.
Story perspective, because nobody knows who the fuck they are. They literally look like they got generated at the last minute to fill banner slots, and then their designs are shit too. And that's why I'm saying a spending event is so bad, because these devs are making up for the fact that they were absurdly, disgustingly, ridiculously fucking lazy in the work that they did to prepare for these characters. They're just probably going to give them some broken kits and call it a day. But they didn't do the homework beforehand to either integrate these guys into the story or give them a design that doesn't look like it already existed in the game. And adding a spend...
Okay, I see what Saintontas is trying to say here. He's trying to say that Xenozone Zero believed that you guys, we are not going to be pulling enough. So in order to force us to pull enough, we're gonna give you a skin for free if you hit a certain amount of pull cap in the game. Fine. If that is what it is, then sure. Like if the game want to incentivize us to spend by giving us free stuff, I mean, that is good. Like, how many skins are in Wooden Waves? How many skins you got for free? I'm pretty sure it's just the one. And it's that character... What? I forgot her name. Shang, Xing Shuang, Guiden Shuang? Whatever her name is. Look here. Let me tell you something. I can tell you how much skins is in Wooden Waves right now. You have the skin for that Shang Shuang girl. What else? I guess you have the mask on the rover too. There is that. You have the skin for the resonator of what's it? I forgot her name. Jesus Christ. The characters in Wooden Ways are so forgettable. It's the girl that can summon the white dragon. You got the skin for that one. You got the skin for Shangling, and you got the skin for Carlotta. So that's like 4 or 5 skins. For her? 5? I can't count. It was the girl that I don't care about. It was the mask. I'm giving you guys bonus by calling the mask a skin. We got Jeja. No, it's not Jeja. I don't remember her name. Sorry, guys. We got Shangling and Carlotta. So 5. 5 skin, right? In Xenozone Zero, we have Nicole skins, right? Who else? MC skin, 2 of them so far for free. These are all the free skins, actually. If I can remember correctly, we have a skin for Yi Xuan. We have a skin for Astra Yao. Who else am I thinking about? That we have passed you guys out already. That's 5 skins we have in Xenozone Zero. There is some other. You have a skin for Ellen. I remember that one. I'm trying to think out of my head what other skins there are. We have a skin for Yuzuha. We have a skin for Alice. Is that all of them? I'm sure I'm forgetting something. But I'm just gonna leave it at that. We have a lot more skins compared, and then there's a new skin coming up for Vivian. We have a lot more skins compared to what it is in Water Waves, and what's worse, a lot more new skins that is coming out in bro. Bro, I don't know how people can paint a free skin as a bad thing, and I can understand that. Saintontas got himself in some muddy water trying to be neutral with his toxic Wither Waves audience, and they turned on him. So obviously he has to turn up the Hoyo hate to kind of redeem himself from the hole he brought himself into.
The event to incentivize the sales for these characters is a disgusting move. Because why don't they just do a good job making the characters in the first place so there isn't a need for a spending event to bring up the number of pulls being spent on characters nobody wants to pull? That's the problem. And you want to know the funny thing about this? I wouldn't have an issue at all if the spending event that you're seeing over here is for the banner of this character. You want to know why? Because everyone probably already wants to pull this character. And so having a spending event like this across 2 patches for 1/8...
Let's, I'm not sure, but it is a possibility that she might land in it. Because if I'm not mistaken, it's 2 patches this spending event lasts for, right? So if the character comes out in the next patch, is Saintontas gonna bring back his word and say sorry, it's cool? No. He's gonna say that it's still bad. This is just reaching, trying to find something to be upset about.
Not that big of a deal, because people were gonna pull this unit anyways. And this is where I'll actually say that ZZZ
wild take, but nobody's the same. Everybody's different. You guys are hyped for that red character. I'm more excited for Yidorha and Lucia. I'm more excited for those two. You have some people excited for the furry lolly character, but that's not me. But you know, everybody's different. Not everybody. It's this thing with these Waterways content creators that they think that their mind of thinking, their way of thinking, is the way of thinking of everybody else. When that's not the case. They can't factor or come to any conclusion that maybe what I like isn't what you like. Maybe even if this is not for me, somebody out there likes this. They just can't get that through their thick skulls.
Ending event is, ironically enough, this is where I'll actually say that HSR's spending event could actually be viewed as better, where you had to spend, I think, 200 pulls for Archer's Light Cone. You want to know why? Because chances are you probably actually wanted to pull the Fate collab characters. And you probably also wanted to pull Finon. And so, even though it was 200 pulls in one patch, at least there was a pretty high probability.
You know what the funny thing about this is? Even though Saintontas say these things, he's gonna get these characters. I can guarantee you that. So, this whole point, it makes no sense because he's already gonna get the characters. So what are we doing here, Saint? You are a perfect example of this. You are going to get the characters. You are going to get the characters. What are you doing, bro?
Those 200 pulls were being spent on units that you actually wanted to pull. But instead, you got this shit. And this is the thing, right? There might be some people coping. There might be some people saying, oh, Saint, what if she's actually running in 2.4? Then your entire argument is going to be bullshit. You want to know why
That's what I said.
I'm saying you're wrong?
Why?
Because you want to know who's going to actually run in 2.4? I will bet you money. It'll be these 2 fucking characters. One who looks like Cruella de fucking Vil when she was 12 from the 101 Dalmatians. What is he? She looks like a disaster, to be honest. And then this thing. I will put money that these two characters are the ones that are going to run in 2.4. I will put money on this. And guess what? You're going to have a spending event for these guys too. Because guess what? Nobody is going to want to pull any of the fucking units available in this patch 2.3.
For me, I can say I'm going to skip these trees. Absolutely, I will skip these trees. Are these all 5 stars? I hope not. I don't think they're all 5 stars. Or S rank, to be more specific in this genre. I don't think they're all S ranks. I feel like one of these three is gonna be A rank. She's out in the front. There's no way they're gonna be making him. It's kind of difficult because are they gonna go ahead and make another male character A rank, or are they gonna make him an S rank, and then probably make either one of these two are gonna be A rank, because I just don't think they're gonna make another A rank male character right now, given how much people backlash on Kamado. Absolutely, Kamado's skin, I saw it. It looks really cool. I'm so happy that that character is a 4-star unit because it means that I'm gonna get him and I'll be able to utilize him. Like, I don't understand. It's a Wither and Waste thing where people think that because the unit is a 4-star means that it's not gonna be usable. I still use 4-star units in Honkai Star Rail, in Genshin Impact, in Zenithal Zero. The only game that I don't use 4 stars in is Wither and Waves. I kid you not. The team that I currently run is Shangling, who else? Encore and Shorekeeper currently. And the teams that I have to replace them don't really have. It's unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate. I just think Wither and Waves. Let's continue. The other two characters definitely pull.
We'll make sure to hide him. Or this patch, 2.4. And you want to know what I think is going to happen? They're going to take Bon Yue, Giga Chad Zenyatta over here in the corner. One of the highlights of this trailer. As well as her, the Yunkai sister. And they're probably going to run in 2.5. After this spending event, after you've just been FOMO pressured into pulling on the worst character designs in the history of the game, because Koyaverse always pairs a male.
Wait a minute. So this doesn't make any sense, because if the character designs are terrible, as Saintontas says, that means that Vivian design is terrible. So that means that people are not going to be pulling. People are not going to be incentivized to pull for the skin because the skin is terrible design. Like, how are we coming to this conclusion when we're on one side we're saying that the skins are terrible, and on the second side we're saying that you're going to be forced to pull because you can't afford to miss out on the skin, which you say is terrible? Which one is it, Saintontas? Because if something is terrible, absolutely you will have no pressure to pull on it because you say, ah, shit, that's a shit ass skin, I don't need it, right? So it's either really good designs or just being dishonest, or I can't believe this brand.
Character with a highly desired female one. And so I think she's going to be first half of 2.5. It's basically confirmed she's going to be first half of 2.5 because God knows they're not going to extend the spending event to her. And then he's probably going to run in the second half of 2.5 over here. No, nothing is confirmed. No leaks. But I'm going to put money that this is what's going to happen. Because if you actually wanted to pull this unit, you probably do belong on an FBI's most wanted list somewhere. And like...
I saw that before. I saw that coming a mile away. Never underestimate Saintontas' ability to call you a PDF. It's the number one scapegoat. Oh my god.
What even is this, bro? What the fuck even? What is even going on here? And what is this? Hopefully you're beginning to realize, hopefully you're beginning to understand exactly where the take is coming from. And I'll make sure to reiterate my...
I understand where that take is coming from, and I have to pull this up again because it's not as good. Zelda's Wooden Wave's character design is basic and generic. Like, for somebody, I'm sorry for my internet acting up. It's like it's a little bit not working right now because of the weather. I can't even pull it up. Fucking hell. You got saved. You got absolutely saved. Let me lower the quality because like the internet is like not going good.
Myself again. If this spending...
Let's be real here. Because I couldn't pull it up. Phoebe. I've made this discussion a lot of times. If you put Phoebe in a random NPC's position in Renacita and you don't have any marker on her and I tell you to go find her, it will take you hours. Because she blends in so well with the NPC, it's insane. And it's not like I can give it an excuse in terms of Zenless Zone Zero, where the NPC look like playable characters. Phoebe does look like an NPC, and she's from Wuthering Waves. This guy has no right to complain about Zenless Zone Zero's character designs when most of the designs in Wuthering Waves are basic and generic, to my opinion. They don't look flashy. They look basic. Augusta's design for me just look basic. Luna's, Ino's design look basic. They really look basic to me. I don't see anything that really stands out saying that this look really cool. Let me tell you what I mean, like something that stands out. You see how the way Kirk's design is? The sparkling with her abyssal hands and feet. That looks really interesting. Escoffier. I'm not gonna bring that up because like, but if you know me and know my channel, you know what I'm talking about with Escoffier. But like, I'm just gonna leave it at that. She's just very shiny, to be precise. But all I can say is, whoever's put a lot of thought in their character designs, while with Wuthering Waves, it's just like, drop this on. Does this work? This work? Okay, let's leave it at that. And then you have content creators like these that come out and say absolute peak character, absolute peak story, absolute peak Wuthering Waves, when it's absolute dog shit or absolutely bang ass average content.
That was for this character, I would have no problems at all. And if this character is actually going live...
ZZZ devs, you hear this. Make sure this character... Oh, for fuck's sakes. Make sure this character launches in that version. Make sure. So that he can shut up. Because once that happens, he has nothing to say. He really has nothing to say after that.
In version 2.4, I'll be happy to eat every single word that I've been saying about how bad this spending event is. But when all the clues are pointing and telling you that they're planning on putting the most undesirable characters from a design perspective in the history of the game alongside the spending event, I think that sets a terrible goddamn precedent. An awful fucking precedent of, we're going to put no effort into our character designs. We're going to make a bunch of AI-generated looking. Maybe it's not AI-generated. Maybe their character designers are just literally terrible at their jobs. We're just going to put in these awful fucking designs in the game. We're not going to have any story implementation for them until the patch that they're released in. They're going to come out of nowhere with no context at all because we need to fill banner slots. We need to sell units. And if we miss the mark because we're doing an awful fucking job with the designs, hey, let's slap on a fucking spending event for it. Who needs to do a proper job in the design department if we could just slap a fucking spending event on it. And that's one of the worst precedents I could have ever imagined for a game like this. Bad units, bad designs. Fix it with the spending event. And now let's address the last issue over here. The last bit of argumentation. A lot of people are saying, oh, Saint just hates the game. Hey guys, I've already reiterated why I'm not a fan of Zenless Zone Zero.
Because it's a Hoyo game. That's why. It's as plain as simple as that. Like, no matter what the game does, he's just always gonna find a reason to hate. It's like, fam, Zenless Zone Zero can come out tomorrow and cure cancer, and Saintontas will find some kind of reason to paint it in a bad light. It doesn't matter what Hoyo does. As long as it's Hoyo, it's always gonna be bad.
Because the story sucks dick. Because the story does shit like this, where they randomly put in new characters, force them to be relevant for the patch, you have no idea why they're there, and the game ham-fists the reason for it. They've done it for 3 versions in a row. Spook Shack is the worst faction in the game. They're literally the filler arc of ZZZ. That's the reason why I quit, and they're giving no reasons to come back with this. So
He quit whatever. Right, he seriously quit Zenless Zone Zero? I thought he still played. I didn't know he quit. Ah, my God. Why does this have to happen now? I'm quite confident he didn't quit. Did he really quit? Am I for real, guys? How? He didn't quit the game.
So we addressed that. Now, the
lie.
actual final bit that I wanted to address was, you can buy it later from the shop. Why does that matter? The fact of the matter is, they're using FOMO. Who cares if you can buy it from the shop?
No way, bro, that said that. No way, bro, that said that. No way. Because the idea of FOMO is that the item will disappear. It's like a 4-star weapon that's tied to an event in Genshin Impact. That is FOMO. Because if you don't complete it, you're gonna miss out on the weapon. A clear example, the last one that just passed, I almost missed out on that 4-star claymore that gave it was energy regen with the core passive of elementary mastery. I got 3 copies. 3 copies of it as well. I didn't get the last one because I just couldn't bother doing the last one. I had to say screw it. I'm just gonna use that on Llama until I get a real weapon. So that is FOMO. This is not FOMO. If the skin is gonna be available for purchase after, then there's no reason to kill off yourself just to get deposed, to pull on characters that you don't want. You could just purchase it on the shop, like if you wanted that. So this is just a reward, like a free reward. Like if you're gonna spend that amount of currency anyways, you're gonna get these as well. So I think this is absolutely okay. Leave it to Saint to find the bad light.
Shop, you're getting it for free. Guess what? I could spend 70 pulls and get Archer's Light Cone. That could have been something that I did for this event. I didn't need to do the spending event. The HSR collab with Fate is actually still live right now. It's going to be live for another version maybe. So you can still get it right now. Just because it's available later so you can buy it in the shop for $30 doesn't negate the fact that they're clearly using a free one to incentivize you to pull on subpar character designs. An awful fucking implementation in the story. What, does that all get washed away because it's the skin is available in the story?
Let's be real here. Like, even if that skin was not tied to, because if you can remember correctly, when we got the free skin for the MCs in Xenozone Zero, the first one, not the beast skins, the first one, he tried to paint it as bad, it being bad that we're getting free skins, right? So obviously, it doesn't matter. Like, if we live in an alternative universe and Xenozone Zero decided to give this skin, but also give it for free with no polls needed, just log into the game, he's gonna find some way to paint it in a negative light as well. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The reason why Kamado is not getting hate for his free skin is because Vivian is here. Like, it it's something that it's something that the devs didn't have to do. Like, it's not something that is gonna incentivize you to pull on all the banners. This makes no sense.
In the store afterwards? I'm talking about the root cause over here. Why is there even a spending event in the first place? It's because nobody wants these fucking units, because they look like shit. And so, of course, they don't want people just saving until the unit that they actually do want.
It's funny enough that Gotcha review is coming out today while recording this video. So we're gonna see, like, I'm not even...
To poll comes out. They're trying to extract as many polls as they can, and this is what they're doing. And there's not actually an issue with trying to extract as many polls as possible, right? If you're doing it the right way. And the right way is by making characters people actually want to pull, so that they don't need to be incentivized with a fucking spending event to pull them. But they're not doing that. They're creating literal garbage instead, and then using spending events to push the garbage. That's why this image was made. Why do you think somebody took the fucking time to custom?
Because they have no life. Because they have no job. Because they have no shit to do. As simple as that. They have no life. If you're a Saintontas watcher, you have no life. Because Saintontas get most of his chat is watching from Twitch. Everybody just there in their mom's basement, like,
recolor her entire model in the color scheme of Yijuan. Probably because they were frustrated with the fact that this design looks like dog shit. Literally looks like a copy paste. Literally looks like an AI script. Chat GPT, can you give me Yijuan plus Ganyu? Okay, here you go, Lucia. And me calling this out and critiquing this means that I hate the game.
oh boy, I'm
Brother,
gonna do that.
let's get one thing straight.
I'm
trying to make the game better. Do you think another spending event combined with 2 patches of dog shit designs is something that the game should have once again? Should they do this again? Another spending event. Maybe it's the Miyabi swimsuit skin this time. And then the next 4 characters look like steaming dog shit. Is that good? Hey guys, look, I got a $30 skin, but I had to pull 2 units that look like steaming shit. No, it's not. And this is going to set a worrying precedent. This is going to set a worrying trend. Maybe Hoyoverse is going to look at this and realize, fuck it.
To be fair, Saintontas does talk like Paimon. You just keep repeating the same shit over and over again. Like, this 14-minute video could have been so short. All you need to do is just say that I don't like the skin. I don't like Xenozone Zero skin because, like, Wonder Waves is not getting skins like this for free, and Xenozone Zero is getting skins like this. So I have to find some way to talk about it in a bad light to make I don't feel too bad about me not getting any free skins in Wonder Waves to that level, while we can get it for free in Xenozone Zero for the spending currency and pulling.
We don't really need to do a proper job when it comes to making these characters. We could just make them all look like fucking jokes. Hey, we were able to keep the sales up with the spending event. We made sure nobody had any polls left for her. So it's all good. Hey, we got the money we wanted. And then they just do this again. Because it's Hoyoverse. And you know that once Hoyoverse finds out that they can get away with something, once Hoyoverse finds out that they can get away with cutting corners in their development, they spam it on repeat. Like they're playing Winter Soldier in Marvel Rivals. Again, and again. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
It says just 5 fucking
Surprised if this happens again. ZZZ is clearly prioritizing shitting out characters and shitting out new designs over actually implementing them properly in the story. And hey, if you're all going to go ahead and say that this spending event is the best thing ever, then you're going to see more of this. More awful designs, more...
Let's think about this in the free-to-play perspective. Like, yeah, I understand why you think this is not valuable for you, Saintontas. And I'm gonna be very honest here. I'm not gonna be toxic about this or anything like this. I'm gonna show you the true value of this item right here. A skin that's gonna cost real money, right? And you're able to attain this skin that is gonna cost real money for free by spending currency that you can get in the game for free. You see that? That is very valuable of an item to get like this. So even though Saintontas might not find the value in this, people that have been saving pulls and have pulls and look at it, or have Vivian as well and have pulls and realize that, are you telling me that something that I normally would have to spend money to purchase it because there's just no other way I could achieve this, I can't use in-game currency that I have to grind in order to purchase these skins, right? And you're telling me all I need to do is to spend some of the currencies that I can develop in the game by just playing the game, and then I'll have the skin for free. People like that are going to see this as an absolute W, right? There's a lot of value for this, and it's optional. It's not something that they're saying that, oh, you have to get this, you have to get it now. It's an option there for if you decide to spend currency, you will get this as a reward. I don't see why that is fundamentally wrong. I think that is absolutely okay. I just don't know.
awful story implementation, and then they'll offset it by, hee hee, look, it's a spending event, hee hee. When the real solution should be, just make something people want to fucking pull in the first place. It's really...
I'll tell you what Saintontas' problem is with this. Saintontas doesn't like this because it makes Water Waves look bad. And he has to find some way to push this down in the dirt as something that is bad, because Water Waves, look at a comparison. Is Water Waves giving you any free skins of that level? No, they're not. They're not. So obviously, they have to find some way to undermine anything good in Hoyo games to make Hoyo continue looking like a bad game when it really isn't. And that's just the case. The reason why Saintontas started attacking Xenozone Zero to begin with is because of how generous Xenozone Zero has been compared to everybody else in the top 4, that is.
not that hard. But I guess for the ZZZ devs, it is. Because, well, somebody greenlit this thing. Somebody was like, yeah, let's do this. And I think that alone is enough to get a lot of questions winding in the eyes of this player base. Because if this is where the future of the game is going, I wouldn't be too optimistic about it. That'll be that for this one, ladies and gentlemen. Glad we were able to, make another video on this topic. But this is, again, the reality of the situation over here when it comes to Zenless Zone Zero. Repetition is key. I actually treat this community like I'm dealing with a class of elementary school children. Sometimes they don't get it the first time. But if you say it enough, the message does end up sticking. But yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate that we always have to go this far all the time. So yeah, that'll be that for this one. Let me know what you all thought. Peace.
My thought is that like and subscribe as always, but it is... Fam, it's optional. It's just a means for some people that normally wouldn't have the ability to get this skin. They can get it by just using in-game currency, which they can grind for. I see this as an absolute W for free-to-play players, because Free to play players normally would never have access to this. W Zenless Zone Zero, continue doing what you're doing. Wooden Waves just don't want to do something like that. And for Wooden Waves to do, for Zenless Zone Zero to do this, I feel like this is absolutely cool. Absolutely cool. First time I've seen where both the normally when Hoyoverse release skins, they release two skins. They release one skin for the 5-star unit that's normally paid, and they release one skin for the 4-star units that's normally free. And in this case, both the bigger skin, the 5-star skin, the skin for the 5-star unit and the skin for the 4-star unit are gonna be free for you to collect. So I feel like this is an absolute W. And it's just that Saintontas is being jaded because Saintontas is Saintontas. Saintontas has to find some way to hate. So that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time.